So, what do you do if, when you're speaking to friends, family, a couple of colleagues, people you're really comfortable with, you don't stutter at all? But the second you have to stand up and speak to people outside of your comfort zone, maybe they are people you don't know, maybe it's a larger audience than usual, then all of a sudden, the stutter comes out. What do you do? Do you have some deep psychological problem? Do you need to go to therapy for years and years and years? Well, no. If you can speak comfortably without stuttering to small groups, you can do exactly the same thing to larger groups of 20, 200, 2,000, 200,000. It is about how you prepare. The reason quite often you find yourself stuttering when you're speaking to a group outside your comfort zone is you're nervous. You're nervous, so your body is sending adrenaline throughout. And you're thinking, uh-oh, this is a dangerous situation. How can I fight or flight? How can I run away is really what you'd like to do. But you can't run away in the middle of a speech or presentation. It would look awful. People would talk about it for years, and it just doesn't help you. And you don't have to run away from your audience when you're speaking, because they're not literally going to come eat you or attack you. So that is not ever going to be a good solution. We've got to figure out together, and I hope we can do it right now, a way for you to be more comfortable so that you don't feel this nervousness and repeating yourself, stammering. The number one way of becoming more comfortable is to practice your presentation on video. If you want to be more successful, then improve your communication skills. The best way to do that? Smash the subscribe button right now. Now, these days, we've all got cell phones. They've got cameras. So you can't tell me, oh, teacher, I'd love to do that, but I can't afford going to a TV studio and camera. Guess what? That excuse doesn't work. That worked a long time ago when I was starting out in this business. That doesn't work anymore, that excuse. You or someone you know, someone you live with, has either a webcam or a cell phone that records video. So you can practice yourself speaking on video and watch yourself. Now, here's the thing. If all you do is practice your speech once, look at it, and it's okay in the practice, you say, oh, okay. And then you go and give your speech, then humana, you might stutter just as much. Practicing once, especially if you're glancing down at notes a bunch, isn't really going to help you that much. You want to get to the point where you're really comfortable delivering that presentation. And you want to do it again and again. Maybe that's 2 or 3 times. Maybe it's 10 times. Maybe it's 100 times. I can't tell you the magic number. But the magic happens when you've seen yourself give a presentation a whole bunch of times, and you're no longer having to actively recall information. It's become internalized enough that it just easily flows. Think about if someone says, well, where are you from? Or what's your favorite hobby? Or tell me about your favorite sports team. Or how did you meet your spouse? You can just talk about that. You don't have to think about, well, where did I meet my spouse? You already know because you've said it a bunch of times. Now, very important, I am not talking about memorizing your speech. Someone asks you who your favorite sports team is, or your favorite musician, or how you met your spouse. You didn't memorize it. You may say it a little differently every single time. But the point is, you've already thought about it. You already have grooves in your brain. It comes out easily. And that's what makes it simple for you. That's why there's no stuttering. Now, one of the problems people have that creates stuttering is they want to memorize a speech. They memorize the first point, they memorize the second point, and what's the third one? I can't remember. And that's where the stuttering comes. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. I gotta tell you, it's really hard to memorize stuff and then say it out loud. I'm awful. Now, I speak to you 3 hours a day right here on this channel, but I don't memorize anything. Memorization is really hard. Meryl Streep went to the Yale School of Drama to get a master's degree to help her learn how to memorize scripts for Broadway shows and movies. Don't try to memorize. That puts too much pressure on you. Instead, just use the simplest word you know, the first word that comes to your mind to make this idea that's interesting and relevant and useful to your audience come alive. Use simple words. Don't worry about the perfect word or the word you memorized or the word that was on a script or the word that's in a PowerPoint. Use simple words that come to you. And if you occasionally get one wrong, guess what? It's very unlikely anyone's going to notice it. So focus on one word at a time, a simple word, one idea at a time, and really connecting with your audience. If you do that over time, what you will find is there's really no difference between talking to your best friend one-on-one over coffee versus giving a so-called formal presentation to 20 people in a boardroom. It's exactly the same thing. You're trying to share one idea at a time. You're trying to make it interesting. You're trying to make it sound conversational, which means you put pauses in. You don't fill up the sound by stammering and stuttering and saying the same sentence or the same word over and over again. You are not afraid to pause. Pausing is punctuation. Pausing allows people to think, reflect on what you just said. Pausing will make you appear profoundly comfortable and confident. That's how you want to fill the sound, with nothing, instead of with the stutter or the repetition. So if you want to get rid of the stuttering, my advice is practice on video and look at it. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but as many times as it takes until you can look at that video and say, wow, that person really seems comfortable, confident, relaxed. If I can speak half as well as that person, I'll be in great shape. Now you have a role model for yourself. The role model is not me or anyone else. It's you. That's how you can get rid of the stuttering. Now, here's a quick advanced tip. Everyone repeats themselves occasionally. Everyone occasionally has a little stutter, a little stammer. Your audience won't notice it if you don't look or act embarrassed.